match, our first referee, Petro Castillo, national referee. Our second referee, Erlindo Eusebio, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for Capital1 Solar Energy. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 5, Des Clemente. Center from San Francisco State University, number 10, Iris Tolenada. Outside spiker from Jose Rizal University, number 15, Shola Alvarez. Middle blocker from La Salle, number 16, Julia Ipak. Opposite hitter from De La Salle University, number 22, Leila Cruz. Outside spiker from Russia, number 23, Marina Tushova. Starting libero from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, RJ Rivera. Head coach for the Solar Spikers is Roger Gorayev. And now the starters for the Petro Gazz Angels. Center from Mariana University, number 3, Donalyn Paralejas. Middle blocker from Adamson University, number 5, Joy Dacoron. Opposite hitter from the University of Santo Tomas, number 8, Isa Maizo Pontillas. Outside spiker from the University of Hawaii, number 10, Brooke Van Sickle. Middle blocker from UST, number 12, Casey Galdones. Outside spiker from Bulacan State University, number 20, Jonas Sabete. Starting libero from UST, number 22, Baby Love Barbon. Head coach for Petro Gazz is Koji Susanavara. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Capital1 versus Petro Gazz. This is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Now we're all set for the matchup between the Capital1 Solar Spikers and the Petro Gazz Angels. Changes for both teams. As we see for Petro Gazz, Joy Dacoron will start for Coach Koji as well as Jonas Abete. Jonah came off the bench in their last match. Meanwhile, Dacoron did not see action in that win over Zeus Coffee. On the other side, for Capital1, Leila Cruz still gets the starting nod. The rookie out of De La Salle. And of course, the reinforcement, Marina Tushova. And Jorel Singh will also make her starting appearance here for Coach Roger Gorayev, as we all welcome you to our coverage here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco, together with Phil Cayetano, covering this match. Franny Reyes is at the sidelines, who will give us the updates and reports later on. Phil, welcome back. We mentioned it's your first game, pagbabalik sa broadcast panel. What?
Dahil war nga to, sabi ni Bro.
Right, and Brooke, of course, very competitive with her statement.
I know.
Of course, inaabangan nila tong date na to ni Iris, of course, as good friends. But for tonight, they are on the opposite ends of the court, and Van Sickle will get the point. So it's 1-all. Janelle Cheng will serve for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Yes. Another hard serve for Petro Gazz.
Singh will attack and score. As we send this to Franny Reyes for this report. Franny?
Thanks, Dip and Phil. I got to talk to Coach Roger Gorayev of the Capital1 Solar Spikers before the game, and he told me that he was very happy with the defense that his team played in their first game. Hindi na sila basta-basta. Ngayon, lumalaban talaga sila at pinaghihirapan nila ang bawat point. Right now, it's really about how they play their offense, how aggressive they are against Petro Gazz Angels, and how every player contributes. It cannot just be their reinforcement, but everyone has to step up so that they can do well on the offensive side as well. Now let's see how the Capital One Solar Spikers will fare in the Reinforced Conference, and you can watch that on the Pilipinas Live app for only 149 pesos a month. Back to the game.
Thank you, Franny, for that report. Well, good sign for Coach Roger because 2 out of the 3 points of Capital One coming from
Their errors.
Clemente and Singh.
Yes.
So it's not just the reinforcement na binabanggit na she was the only one who really led the offense in the last game.
Yes. Teamwork talaga. Yung reinforcement nandyan lang talaga para tumulong.
You know, Phil, you mentioned bahagyan ng top of the coverage that you got to train
Yes.
with Capital One last night.
I know. I'm so lucky that syempre kilala ko si Coach Roger and he allowed me to train with the girls. And it was fun. It was fun to play and train professionally again with the team. And you can see naman how hard they work and their strategy in playing during training.
Right, and looking good so far in a tight set number 1, but a service ace coming from Brooke Van Sickle.
Yeah, you know Brooke naman, she's really strong in the service line. And last game, she scored 3 service aces. And she was targeting actually Marina there.
We mentioned how she is in MVP form. No need to have that first game warm-up. Immediately contributing as Clemente will get her second point of the match.
Yes, great save there, but Clemente's spike was too powerful for the Petro Gazz. It was a great chase, but it didn't get over the net. You see the hustle of Petro Gazz.
Yeah.
Clemente, as they said, they need to contribute in the attacks.
yeah.
Capital One, all the players.
And starting off with good energy. Sabete tries another. She was able to score a point a while ago. Picked up by Rivera on the other side. To Shoba will attack. Van Sickle was there for the pickup. Sabete again. A bit close to the net. Dacoron was there. Joy. Still playable. Long rally alert. Rivera pops it to Shoba. The dig by Barbon. Play continues. Tolenada doesn't get it. Van Sickle still nothing. Cruz with a nice save. Back and forth action. Who will get the point?
Haba ng rally. Pang-apat na return na.
Cheng, back sets. Aiza Pontillas. Clemente finally drops it.
Yeah, what a great rally. And you can see the defense of both teams and how they, you know, at all the attacks, lahat ng spikers na bigyan, but it was Clemente's tricky drop shot in the middle.
Nakita mo ba yung ganyang long rallies kagabi?
Yes, actually malakas na depensa yung Capital One.
But they're showing it here in this match. Cheng goes to Dacoron. Tolenada goes to Tushova, and that catches the line.
That was a great attack for Marina. And you can see, you know, she's really a steady reinforcement for Capital One. You know, if they need a point, she's there. But did you notice she started at the back, actually? No? So,
Yeah.
I guess may strategy din si Coach Roger bakit siya sa likod na una.
Right. Usually, when you place a player at the back who's known to be a scorer, what will be that strategy?
I think yung blocker, naghahanap ng sinong mabablock, sinong makakatapat niya. Kasi strategy din yun eh, kung sinong gusto mong itapat sa reinforcement or sa strong spiker.
Right, right. So far, so good. They're up by 1 point.
Labang pala Capital One.
Yeah, they're up 6-5. Oh, good serve by Dacoron. Chance here for the black shirts. Cheng. Galdones is rejected by Clemente.
Yes, another point for Clemente. She's playing her game right now. And I think na-notice ng blockers ng Capital One na immediately bibigay ni Cheng sa middle spikers.
Yeah, and
So nakatayo na lang doon si Clemente and easy to block.
already, Des Clemente has 4 points
Yes.
to lead all Capital One scorers. Cheng. Galdones was checked. Cheng goes to Maizo Pontillas that clips the net. Iris goes middle to Ipak.
I think yung mga simple balls sa gitna na mamatay for Petro Gazz
Right.
Angels. So they have to solidify their defense.
Now we go to the first technical timeout. back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for the continuation of this matchup between Capital One and Petro Gazz. Roma made Doromal in her debut. These are her numbers against Akari.
Yeah, she's actually one of the picks on the rookie draft of Capital One, and you can see how well it fit in the team. And you can see here, this is Maddie Romero from Capital One of the managers, team owners of Capital One.
Were you surprised that with Roma's performance in that debut that she kind of dropped down to that 14th pick?
Yes, actually, I was surprised, but it's good that she still got picked. And you can see in her debut, diba? A little raw, but you know, I feel like she will grow to this league, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a good team to be in. A young team led by a couple of veterans as Tolenada connects with Tushova.
Yes, and that angle, favorite din ni Marina Tushova, that angle. And here you have Milka Romero, another owner of the Capital One Solar Spikers.
Sisters present to support.
Yes.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Actually, I want to talk about Milka and Maddie Romero kasi they're younger than me and like they're team owners. What a dream.
Yeah.
Gusto ko rin maging team owner someday.
Anong magiging pangalan ng team mo if ever?
Ewan ko. Phil is fly.
Phil is fly, high flyers.
Yeah. Ay, ang ganda nun. Sige, pakisusulat ko na yung dip. Thank you, high flyers.
That's a 3-point lead for Capital One right now. Van Sickle, that goes through the blockers.
Just the power of Van Sickle. Nakita mo ba yun? Yung tunog, narinig dito yung tunog ng palo niya. It wasn't enough for the block of Capital One to stop it. Idol. Diba? Galing.
I mean, they cut the lead down to just 2 points. 7-9. Tolenada goes back to Tushova, way above the net.
If you notice, Dip, kanina niya pa kinukuha yung super sharp angle na yan kasi hindi nakukuha ng blockers. Ayan, super cross spike from Marina Tushova.
Pwede mo i-recruit sa high flyers to.
Ay, pag may budget to. May natin ng budget. Ganda ng angle na yun.
Yeah, and she apologized to Cheng after hitting her in the head.
Yeah, but Cheng was so cute. She took it well.
Back to a 3-point lead. Good serve. Sabete outside, and the lead is up to 4.
Yeah, it's too much power for Sabete in that set. I think off a misreceive and then offset. So, hirap din naman talaga just yun.
Tolenada back at the service line. 11-7. Cheng goes back to Sabete. Pinabawi.
Inside.
This time it's inside.
I think she was going for that angle nung last spike niya. Kaya try again siya.
Isa pa, no? Pinagbigyan ulit ni Cheng.
I know, that was a good
Pero tatawag ng challenge ang Capital One Solar Spikers.
Ball in or out? Ano feeling mo? Feeling ko in.
Dikit eh, but based on the angle, ikaw in, sige ako out.
Sa ako in, sige. Ang matalo Starbucks.
So we'll see.
Yun lang ginagawa namin dun sa bench ng Creamline before. Ano kami?
Pupustahan.
Oo, para exciting. Tapos nagpapa-Starbucks talaga. Sige, in ako out ka.
Eh, meron ka ng kape eh.
Next game daw. Di ba? Ay, si Coach
This is
Roger.
close though, but Coach Roger Gorayev wants.
In. Ay! In. Outside. Okay, I owe you Starbucks.
Narinig ng viewers natin yan, nakalahat. There's proof.
Yes.
Recorded.
Ikaw lang hindi sa lahat. Ikaw lang papa-Starbucks ako.
A successful challenge. Natatawa si Coach Roger Gorayev.
Yes, good challenge.
Yeah. And it's now a 5-point lead, the biggest so far for Capital One.
Anong drink mo sa Starbucks?
Salas with the receive. Tapusin mo na itong point na to. Salas gets that one.
Ayun na pala yung rotation ni Vilma Salas.
Siguro pag nag-extend yung mga laban, black
Sabihan mo,
lang ako.
Black coffee.
Para gising na gising.
Okay. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Sige, mura lang yun.
Matching with the Petro Gazz Angels.
Kayang-kaya ko yun, Amerikano. Kaya ng budget natin yan.
8 serving 12. It's a free ball and it ends up
touches.
as a violation.
I think tumama sa ulo ng isang player, the block. So it was counted as one touch. There.
Yeah, tumama sa arm.
So one touch na yun.
Yeah, of Leila Cruz.
I actually didn't notice it, kaya nagulat ako na 4 touches.
It's great to have those replays to see what happened in the previous play. Tolenada back to Tushova, dug up by Aizo Pontillas. They go to Van Sickle. The chase by Rivera. It's kept alive. A high free ball. Morente. Cheng had to alter that play and went for the 1-2.
Yeah, you know, sayang ang ganda ng free ball sa Petro Gazz. Nag-over actually yung dig ng Petro Gazz, but Capital 1 wasn't able to respond to that over ball. Sayang kasi little balls like that.
Yeah. But they're able to cut the lead down to 3 straight points na.
Yes.
Itong Petro Gazz Angels. Tolenada goes middle to Ipak. Better ball from Morente. Salas, that's short.
Yeah, I think medyo nabitin. And Salas is telling Cheng right now, taasan niya daw. I think she was speaking Tagalog, taas. Nakita mo ba?
Natuto na kasi she
yeah,
played here back in 2019. So she's built that connection with the Filipino players. Kayo ba nun yung pag may reinforcement, tinuturuan yung mag-Tagalog?
Yes, mga bad words. And then I try to learn also their bad words. Yes, para that's the easiest way to learn the language.
They can't say that on air, off air lang.
Net touch. Net touch. I think it was checked. Good call by the second referee.
4-point lead by Capital 1. So good response, Phil, after naka 3 straight ng Petro Gazz. The Solar Spikers able to get back-to-back points.
And I feel like kailangan talaga mag-pull away ni Capital 1. To remain, you know, alam mo kasi malakas yung Petro Gazz para lang makalamang.
Yeah.
Kahit magka-error, kaya nilang maka-afford yung maka-errors na yun.
We have a timeout on the floor.
Let's go! This zone, center, use and quick. Here, this zone, use and quick. But here, nothing. Side. Okay. More use and block angle mark. Here. Okay. Libero.
Yes, coach.
Your mark. Okay. Simple. Too simple. Okay. Slowly, slowly. Chance. Attention to the catch.
Timeout called by Coach Koji for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Wala ko naintindihan, pero it made me wonder, ano, ba't naka-sunglasses si Coach Koji? AI kaya yung metaverse, no?
Para maka-take ng pictures. Nire-review niya yan after.
Nasa stats niya yung sungglasses niya.
Yun yung mga plays na babalikan niya
Galing.
tonight.
Mr. C.
Let's see how they will respond after that timeout. 4-point game. Singh will get another point for Capital 1.
You know, Jarrell Singh is, since college siya, malakas talaga yung padding niya in basag block, and it was effective in that play.
Reunited with Coach Roger Gorayeb here in the professional league.
Sana ako rin ma-reunite.
Kaya
Hindi, na-reunite na ako kahapon.
Kaya ka pa nag-train?
Oh, hindi, okay lang ako. Miss ko lang si Coach Roger.
Singh
Oy, net. May na-net ulit.
forces Cheng to touch the net and fill the lead. It's up to 6 points for Capital 1 as we get to the second technical timeout. Suportahan natin ang mga atletang Pilipino sa Olympic Games Paris 2024. Watch the games live from July 26 to August 11 on One Sports Plus, RPTV, TV5, and on the Pilipinas Live app. 100 taong laban para sa bayan.
Wow, Paris Olympics.
As we take a look at Ricky Villavicencio of Petro Gazz Angels. That's a good serve. It leads to a free ball for Capital One. A chance to increase the lead further. Cruz's attack was picked up. Nice save by Rivera. Another chance for the Angels. Barbon gets to it. Cheng to Brook. Nice dig from Rivera again. Oh, and a sharp attack from Marina Dushova.
That was a good back row attack. And alam mo, nadepensa lahat ng Capital One yung palo ni Brooke Van Sickle. And it shows how solid their defense is right now. And from that angle, ang ganda ng palo. Mahirap actually kunin yung back row na sa zone 5.
Yeah, and she continues to impress us here in set number 1. Dushova now has 4 points for Capital One, and she serves 17-10. Saet is now the setter for Petro Gazz. Rivera has been playing excellent defense. And so is Dushova. The attacks of Van Sickle being stopped right now. And the rejection for Julia Ibak.
Again, the defense of Capital One is working from Rivera at the back and in front of the net.
What about that sequence? 3 times they gave it to Brooke.
Brooke, yes.
And she got denied on the third one.
It shows the defense in front and at the back of Capital One.
Tatawag ng timeout ulit si Coach Koji for the Angels.
One quick lang. Isa. Isang ikot lang. 1, 2, 3 ikot only. 1, 2, 3 ikot. Let's just cut the point. Cut the point.
Okay. One more. Okay. I got team them in.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, Petro Gazz Angels.
Well, the score now is 18-10 in favor of Capital One.
I know, it's surprising actually. And, you know, napapaisip ako, do you think it's because, you know, Franny said na galing sa flu or sakit yung Petro Gazz Angels?
Yeah,
So
well,
you see them struggling?
we'll hear more about that from Franny later on. But so far, the struggles continue here in set number 1. But it's a lucky break as Capital One commits a service error.
Serving for Petro Gazz, Casey Gonzalez.
You can't help but feel under the weather din dahil
Yeah,
tag-ulan
it's been
na,
rainy.
diba?
And even Coach Roger said, si Marina actually is sick again. So everyone's getting the flu, so stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, stay dry. Magpayong, jacket, vitamins. But this time it's Van Sickle's turn to get a block. Petro Gazz trying to mount a comeback. They've scored 2 straight. It's back with the Angels. Salas from the back. Rivera continues to save. That's a tough angle for Singh.
Yeah,
And
I think so. Hindi siya naka-atras and you could see how she adjusted in that set. Hindi siya nakalabas for the swing and spike.
And it's 3 straight points for the Angels to cut the lead down to 5. Oh, misreceived by Dushova. Singh will try again. That's outside of the antenna.
Yeah.
And nababa na sa 4.
Bilis, no?
Ang lamang, just like that. Which is why Coach Roger will call for time.
Kung pumasok ang bigla, hindi naman yung bigla. Hindi ka susundan. Told you, don't be too complacent. Ha? Under na tayo sa 25, ha? Finish na yan. We are only leading by 4 points. Not very safe margin. Ayos naman depensa natin. Again, yung execution natin ang
Let's go, Capital.
I was waiting for a quotable quote from Coach Roger. Nakakamiss din ang mga timeout na ganyan with Coach Roger.
Gusto lang niya umaabot sa 25. Itong Capital One as we take a look at Sir Ricky Palou.
So Ricky and friends.
Serving for the Angels, Casey Gonzalez.
1 2 This is what you were saying a while ago, Phil, no? Kailangan
Lumamang talaga
Lumamang
si
yung-
Capital
Oo,
1.
kasi-
Kaya nga nag-timeout na si Coach Roger kasi nga humahabol eh. Hindi nila afford na dumikit si Petro Gazz kasi very experienced team tong si Petro
Yeah, and
Gazz.
this is what they're doing right now. 5 unanswered points for the Petro Gazz Angels.
That's a warning for Capital 1. They need to score 1 point. And I think kasi nasa likod si Marina.
Yeah, and she was trying to encourage her teammates in the front. Caldones continues to serve. Tushova, binigyan sa likod, and she scores.
That's why we have a reinforcement from Marina Tushova. Bibigay mo talaga sa highest pointer mo ngayon if you need a score. And Tushova's a dependable
Yeah, and
player.
that's good recognition on the part of Tolenada, giving it to her. Much needed to stop the run. Side. Van Sickle, sharp attack.
That was a good attack and clean attack from Brooke Van Sickle. I think like experience-wise, alam niyang bata yung mga blockers niya and she just went for it. No defense for Capital 1.
Chisayat off the bench. Reason why Petro Gazz is back in the game as Leila Cruz gets her first point of the match.
May sagot si Leila Cruz. Sabi, hindi kita na-block kanina. Nakabawi na ako with that spike for Leila Cruz. And she's one of the second pick, right?
Yeah.
In the PVL draft, rookie draft. Showing why she's the second pick.
20 serving 16. Saet back sets to Maiza Puntillas. Van Sickle will try and score.
Another hole in the defense of Capital 1. And I think Van Sickle's just spiking the ball and not really noticing the block kasi alam niyang kaya niyang makapuntos or get through the block. Binasag block niya talaga yun.
3-point game. Singh waits for the ball and able to get a point.
So far, Singh has been effective for Capital 1. And I don't think last game nagamit siya masyado.
Jarrell Singh came off the bench, only
Yes.
scored 1 point.
Yeah, but now she's starting.
4 points already for Jarrell Singh. Maiza Puntillas. Rivera gets a touch. Jarrell sets it up to Tushova. Barbon with a bump. Salas did not like that. It's going to be a free ball. Iris to Des. Saet. Back to Wilma. And play will continue. Oh,
Another
Tolenada
free ball.
loves
High
giving those
free ball.
sky balls. Maiza Puntillas. And it's still playable. Great effort for the Solar Spikers. Oh, pero binitin
Yes.
ni Wilma Salas.
Great hustle in the defense. Very scrappy for both team, but you know, Vilma Salas just simple drop ball. No one was there.
Yeah.
And it scored a point for them.
Had to double pump on that one.
Haba ng mga rallies, ha?
Aba, oh. Nagsasagutan dito.
Yeah. Ganda ng defense ng both teams.
Just goes to show the excellent floor defense by both squads. Tolenada upset to Tushova. Saved by Van Sickle. Rivera does the same. Marina again with a tip. Brooke to Salas. And down it goes.
She likes those high ball sets, and that's her back-to-back point. 2 points for her in the front row there.
Slowly but surely creeping in are the Petro Gazz Angels, who are only down by 2 points.
And napansin ko, actually, gusto niya yung mataas na loose ball.
Iris goes to Tushova.
Wow, that was fast. That was a good play. And I think like yung pinaka-strong spike ni Marina Tushova is in the cross court. Kanina pa,
Yeah.
high percentage in that,
Right.
that position, that zone.
Back to a 3-point lead. Capital One 3 points away from winning set number 1. Oh, that is short for Aiza Puntillas.
Yes, good intention. Like, nakita niya na sarado na yung blocker sa kanya. She wanted to do a soft spike in the middle just to scramble the defense of Capital One. Pero lamang pa rin Capital One.
Yeah, they're still up by 4 points.
Oops. Wrong rotation. Position fault. Sino? I think kapag sa service.
Or they're trying to figure it out. Coach Roger will not like that.
Yeah, kasi crucial eh. Like you're at the end of the game and those minor errors, position, sobrang hirap ng ganong error.
Could have at least gone to set point.
Yes.
Could have had a shot. Saved by Tushova. Jarrell hesitated, goes to Marina. Salas picks it up. Tolenada with a spike. Back to Salas. Rally continues. Aiza Puntillas sets up Salas again. The dive by Tushova. Jarrell from the back. Wala pa rin. The push. Oh! It's smart play for Chiside.
Veteran move for Chiside. Nakita niya nag-spike si Iris Tolenada. Siya naman drop ball fast sa likod.
Oh, let's take a look at that play once again.
You can see here, ganda. Kasi no one was there and everyone was looking forward to the set.
Yeah.
Chiside to attack.
And final timeout for Capital One.
And not too high for Marina so that the middle blocker cannot block second time. Marina, wait a little bit low there. 2 points, girls. 2 points.
Sige, sige. Go, Saga. Kapitan! 1!
Points to get the set for Capital One. 2 points to tie naman for Petro Gazz.
Yeah, and resilience shown by the Petro Gazz Angels after being down by 8 points.
Yes. But Coach Roger said to Iris na huwag masyadong mataas yung set kay Marina para hindi mahabol ng middle blocker sa timeout na yun.
Tignan natin if they will make that adjustment. But misreceived by Rivera. Chance here for the Angels. They go middle to Caldones and she connects.
That was a good play, you know, taking advantage of that free ball na high and, you know, knowing Chiside, she would give it to the middle blocker spiker.
And Side is a huge reason why they are just down by a single point.
Nakakaba.
Oh, but they give it to Tushova, who brings Capital One to set point.
That's exactly what Coach Roger said, na huwag masyadong mataas yung bola for her para lang hindi makahabol yung middle blocker ng Petro Gazz. Set point.
Capital One only needs 1 more point to draw first blood. But not yet, says Wilma Salas.
Good angle for Wilma Salas. Hindi naka-atras yung defense si Capital One in that point. Ang galing pa rin yan, no, ni Wilma Salas. Taas pa rin tumalong.
Back after 5 years here in the Philippines. She now serves 23-24. That's a good serve. Caldones unable to take advantage. Another one.
Oh, net touch.
Oh, and Tushova knew it. Apologizes. And Petro Gazz able to force an extended set. We are tied at 24 all.
I think the pressure, yung Capital One na hindi sila makapaniwala na lamang sila.
Yeah,
Pero, you know, knowing Petro Gazz, they've been in this situation na, you know, naghahabol yung kapit, kailangan.
At hindi madaling i-close out itong Petro Gazz Angels.
Kaya nga sabi ko kayo, dapat lumamang talaga si Capital One.
Otoromal now in the game. And it leads to that attack by Marina Tushova.
Yeah, and it's the same angle, same attack angle for Marina Tushova. And she loves that angle. So blockers couldn't get her. And malakas talaga yung bola niya. Mabilikas at mabilis.
Yeah.
Yung spike.
What about the trust also to insert Roma May Doromal at this
Oo nga,
part of the
crucial
set?
point.
Another set point. Almost
ball.
an ace.
Let's see, let's see.
Chance for Capital One. Tolenada sets up to
Of
Shova.
course, Marina Tushova.
And the Solar Spikers get set number 1. Surprise, surprise.
Yes. Of course, you're gonna go to your reinforcement, but you know, you give a free ball to Capital One, they know how to make a point with Marina Tushova.
And they enjoy that point as we take a short break. Capital One taking set number 1. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, the Capital One Solar Spikers got set number 1, 26-24 over the Petro Gazz Angels. It was a huge lead for the Solar Spikers halfway in that set, 18-10, before Petro Gazz went on a comeback, but eventually malaki na masyado yung lamang and Capital One able to respond with that run.
It's a good sign for Capital One as a young team who can, you know, makipagsabayan to a seasoned Petro Gazz team. And you can see na naman how Capital One was able to defend all of the attacks of Petro Gazz Angels. And it was, of course, that girl, Marina Tushova, who led the team with 9 points in the first set. And makikita mo naman, surprisingly, Petro Gazz is actually number 1 spiking team, pero nalamangan ni Capital One in that set. And even the blocks. Although maganda yung game ng dalawang team, 6 errors each, but it was the attack points that led the Capital One to win that first set.
Right, and you see the numbers of why Capital One was able to get that first set over the Angels. And in their last or only matchup before this conference this year, Petro Gazz won it in straight sets. So this is already an accomplishment for the Capital One Solar Spikers to draw first blood. As we welcome you back to our coverage on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dip Yanko with Phil Cayetano covering this match. Fanny Reyes is also at the sidelines to give us the reports.
Yes.
There's a long rally ongoing. Both teams scrambling. Maizo Pontillas. Singh will try. Wala pa rin. Sayet, nilipat. Van Sickle. And finally a point.
And it was just the first point of the set, second set. And you can see, ganito kanina rin nung first set, ang haba ng mga rallies kasi nga nadadepensahan ng both teams yung mga attacks. So I think like, if you want to score a point in this game, it has to be quicker and faster.
Yeah.
Not stronger, kasi stronger, kayang-kaya ng mga liberos eh.
Right. Back-to-back points for Petro Gazz Angels.
You know, may urgency na for Petro Gazz Angels kasi nga, natalo sila ng first set and they really want to get this second set to gain that momentum in this game.
2-0 to start set number 2. Joust.
Oh, and it's Roma na.
Yeah.
The starting libero for them.
And she bumps it to Tushova. Set back. Oh, good save by Doromal. It's still alive. Van Sickle. Tushova gets to it. Tolenada sets up Singh. The drop. Both teams with good reads.
Yes, ito na naman. Rally na naman tayo.
Third point pa lang to. Saet sets up Salas. Almost, but not quite for Joel Singh.
Good defense for both teams, but you know, nagulat actually yung Capital One sa back row attack ni Salas. We thought it was gonna be broke again, but you know, Doromal was able to dig it, but Singh, nice attempt for her. 3-0 na.
Oh, and a service ace for Chi Sayat.
Yeah. And I know Chi Sayat, mabigat din talaga siya mag-serve na floater
Yeah.
na biglang babagsak din.
That's exactly what happened
I
in
know.
that play.
Actually, they weren't sure kung in or out nga eh. Nakakalito. I don't like those kind of balls.
Mahirap.
Oo.
Mahirap pasahin.
Ayun, no, bumabagsak.
That's going to be a point for Des Clemente. A chance for us to send this to Franny Reyes for this report. Franny?
Things dip and fill. I got to speak with Coach Choji of the Petro Gazz Angels, and he told me that whenever his team plays, he expects them to do their best. He wants them to do their best despite whatever adversities they may be facing. Now, in today's match, or the night's match rather, against the Capital1 Solar Spikers, he told me he acknowledges that each player in his team is talented, but it's about how they play together and how they execute. He said that is his style of volleyball, not just the Japanese style of volleyball. And during the huddle, there were very clear instructions. Adjust and move more aggressively, adjust the coverage, and adjust the hand placement on the block. Very basic things, but all things that the Petro Gazz Angels need to do if they want to take this set and the succeeding sets. Now, this report was brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Get the most extensive PVL coverage for only 149 pesos a month. Back to the game.
Thank you, Franny. And individually, we know how talented Petro Gazz is, but as a team right now, Capital1, I mean, in set number 1, we saw how they played.
Yes.
And
I do agree na it's a challenge for coaches to have so many stars and talented players in your team. It's like how you're gonna mix it to have the perfect mix, and boom,
yeah.
it becomes powerful. Right? It's a challenge for coaches, especially now, ang daming players.
Maiso Pontillas trying to go down the line, but it went wide.
I remember Ate Aiza Maiso, kalaban ko pa ng college. Yes, idol ko rin yan.
How was it playing against her in that era?
Siyempre prime era din
Yeah.
yun. Until now, I can't believe that she's still up there.
High level of play.
Yeah, high level. But, you know, Clemente.
Speaking of high level,
Yeah.
it's high up there to reject Wilma Salas.
She's been solid in front of the net in terms of blocking, you know. Makikita mo na yung nakaabang nagbabasa talaga.
Yeah.
As a middle blocker kasi babasahin mo eh kung sino talaga mag-spike. And I think that's her second block in this game. Four blocks na siya in this game. That's a high blocking person and a point for a middle blocker.
Yeah, and a total of 7 points. Van Sickle's attack was slowed down, but it's another chance for Petro Gazz. Here comes Sabete.
Oh, also you have na Sabete, Brooke Van Sickle, and Salas for Petro Gazz.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan, Jonas Sabete, delivering for Petro Gazz as she ties the game up at 5-all.
Yeah, and Sabete is also one of the ace players, the spikers in Petro Gazz. So all out na to si Petro Gazz with all their spikers.
She had a great all-Filipino conference this year. Salas had to use her offhand. Sayat pumps it. Sabete waits. Straight to Cruz. Tolenada goes to Marina. That's a point.
She actually changed her target there. It was kind of an offset for her, but she would need it possible. As you can see, down the line siya. I thought she was going to do a strong cross-court, but then she went down the line. That's a good adjustment and good play for her.
6-5. Oh, too strong for Clemente.
And I think those tiny errors na mga service error is crucial for Capital1 kasi kailangan talaga nilang lumamang, significant na lamang para lang hindi sila mahabol or hindi magkadikitan with Petro Gazz.
Another close start here, 6-all. Tushova.
Same angle, diba?
Yung sinasabi mo, cross court.
That's her strongest spike right now. And I hope Petro Gazz can adjust. Although nakukuha nila, pero it's still a strong spike for Marina Tushova. It's summertime. Umuulan, pero it's summertime here. It's summertime.
7-6. Salas. May balik. Sabete gives up a free ball. Tolenada back sets to Cruz. Barbon was there for the pickup. Salas again. Duramal saves it. Right place, right time. No, to Shova. Did not jump. And Petro Gazz just rejecting that one. Casey Galdones sending it back.
Nice block. Taking advantage of that misset from Iris Tolenada. And kita mo naman taas na talog sa Bete.
It's actually Sabete.
Yeah, sa Bete. He blocked to Shova. And you can see naman talaga yung experience and maturity ni Sabete na hindi ako papayag.
Yeah.
Makakapalo pa to sa harap ko.
Yeah.
Right? Nakita mo
Kailangan
yung
tumalon ka pa rin.
Oo.
Kahit ako lang yung ibablock, sabi niya. Oh, but that time it's short on the service for Sabete. And it brings us to our first technical timeout. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, Wilma Salas and the Petro Gazz Angels are trailing by a point against the Capital1 Solar Spikers. Sabete has been getting her attacks in dito sa set number 2.
And you can see it's Capital1 again who gets the first technical timeout.
Yeah. Dito sila lumayo after the first technical timeout.
No first set.
Yeah, where they were able to build an 8-point lead. Salas straight to Doromal. Singh off the block. And a point for Jarrell Singh.
Great attack for Jarrell Singh. And you really know her for a power spike. So you really have to establish your block kung siya yung spiker. Kasi malakas talaga pumalo eh. Power kung power yung si Jarrell Singh.
Yeah. 2-point lead for Capital1. Oh, that's long for Teshova.
That's their second service error in this set.
Earlier in set number 1, they could afford those types of mistakes dahil malayo-layo yung nagawa nilang agwat dun. But this time it's a close set number 2. Saved by Morente. Van Sickle goes to the far corner and ties this game up.
Yes, and she was smiling in that point kasi I think she just adjusted and went for that placing na attack point. I don't think she was going to really spike the ball, but it was effective. Just that corner. Hindi nakuha ni Doromal.
They go to Teshova. Chance for Petro Gazz to regain advantage. Second try for Brooke. And Van Sickle with a point.
Great setting for Saet. Naiwan. Sumama yung middle blocker sa middle. Kaya na single block. And you don't single block Brooke Van Sickle. She's gonna give all her power in that spike. Ganda ng set na yun.
A lot of it. Salas. Short. On that service.
10-all. This is a nice game. Akala mo the first, if you see Petro Gazz versus Capital1, you think it's gonna be Petro Gazz is gonna dominate this game kasi they're number 1 in spiking, they're number 1 in serving. They're one of the top teams right now in their pool.
But Capital1 is just keeping
challenging them.
And that solid block coming from the rookie.
Cruz, yes.
Leila Cruz had that similar block in her debut.
And of course, happy ka kung ma-block mo si Brooke, MVP.
That's how she got her first point as well in the PVL. First, a timeout for Petro Gazz Angels.
No move. You are subject here. No move. You are focus. Hi. Okay. Focus. Just subject. This is also focus. You are focused, Bakata. Okay. I got one more. Low serve. Low serve. I got high.
Coach Koji motivating his team. Kahit wala akong maintindihan, na-feel ko yung urgency na puntos tayo, laban tayo, sabi niya. Yun yung translation ko.
Oh, sabi nga ni Franny, hindi Japanese style of coaching. Coach Koji style.
Yes,
Yung
his
ini-implement
style.
niya dito.
Back row.
That is through for Tishova.
And you can see Capital1 enjoying the game. And, you know, they're just having fun. I think no pressure for them in this game. And all the pressure is with Petro Gazz.
Sayat goes to Van Sickle. Another chance here for Capital1, and Clemente will score.
You know, Clemente has been solid for Capital1. She's been blocking. And pag binigyan ng bola ni Iris, pupuntos din. And that's what they need right now, yung Capital1. Yung teamwork, hindi lang panay si Marina Tushova.
(13-10). Salas, Clemente
Wow.
sends it back.
I think that's her 5th block in this game. Very good read for her. You know, she's just there in front of the net, hindi binibitawan. And kahit drop ball, that was a double jump. That shows her athleticism, di ba? Tumalo na siya for a
Yeah.
block eh. And then double jump.
You know, didn't have to jump as high in the second
Yeah.
time dahil sa haba rin niya.
Ang haba nga rin niya. Sana all.
14-10. Make that 11 for Petro Gazz.
Right now, nagpa-play na yung Petro Gazz. Napansin mo daw was a DOS na spike for Brooke Van Sickle. Kasi nga, if they open it there sa outside, bantay na siya eh. Sa block and sa dig.
Three-point lead for Capital1. Casey Galdones serving. Tolenada sets up Clemente. Sabete will set it up. Not the best for Van Sickle. Iris goes back to Des. That is short. Dito mawid yun.
Yes. I think it was too low for Clemente. Iris is saying it was mine. It was low set. But Petro Gazz needs this point, and they need to have a run para makalamang against Capital1.
Back set, Cruz. Down it goes for Leila Cruz.
Nice set for Iris to Cruz. Nakita mo rin na, you know, the blockers were inaabangan si Jurel. At hindi na nakahabol si Dacoron. Cruz. Such a young talent. I'm excited to see her grow
Yeah,
in this league.
and we're always happy to see players coming back from their injuries.
Yes.
And she is showing her strength here as Van Sickle does the same.
Just gives her power there. First attempt, the block. Second attempt, she knows what to do and just go through that block.
Petro Gazz down by 2. Sayat with the serve. Tolenada tosses to Singh. Gusto padaanin sa blockers but
Yeah.
to no avail.
No check. And kung napansin mo, Dip, yung services ng Petro Gazz, sinatarget talaga nila si Marina. Yes. Pero ito iba.
We go to Clemente,
Net
but yeah. Lucky break for Capital1 as they lead us to the second technical timeout, 16-14. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. Capital1.
Yes, sila na naman nauna. sa second technical
Yeah.
timeout. And I feel like yung Petro Gazz, nasa kanila yung pressure and yung little errors like net touch
Yeah.
before the timeout, it adds up even the service errors, it adds up. Kaya nga, nakakalamang ang Capital One and even the attack points of Petro Gazz, kailangan nilang makasure puntos in
Yeah.
every set. Kasi nga, it's becoming easy for Capital One to defend
Yeah.
the attacks of Petro Gazz.
And outside of Brooke Van Sickle for Petro Gazz Angels, it's only been Sabete and Salas helping her out with 5 points each.
Yes.
So, kailangan pa.
Yes, kailangan makakontribute din yung ibang players ng Petro Gazz in terms of attacks or points, kahit service points.
Van Sickle, that is out. This is what you were just saying, Phil.
The tiny errors lang adds up And before timeout, nag-net touch sila and now attack error.
Siguro may onting gigil because you're down.
May
So,
urgency talaga for them to score kasi nga, you know, knowing Petro Gazz, they're one of the top teams in their pool right now. And even in the league, season team.
they get a check to Shova. Salas with the reaction. Brooke gives up a free ball. Tolenada, who will she go to? Marina. Barbon with a dive. Van Sickle. Doromal pops it up to Shova again. Down the line. And it's inside for Marina to Shova.
I didn't know what angle. I thought she was gonna go to the strong cross court na attack niya. But this time, dalawang beses siya na-dig, na-block. So, iniba niya. Galing.
Right. She brings Capital One up by 4 points. Timeout by Petro Gazz Angels.
More using top and short. It will be how much same timing. Everyone same timing.
Ate, like,
Ita.
natin kailangan ng
Next one.
one touch lang tayo. One
Stop.
touch lang.
Okay.
Sige
Go, go, let's go.
Timeout called by the Angels, who are trailing by 4 points.
And I think in that timeout, Coach Koji said na pansinin niyo si Marina Toshova, same timing lang yung palo niya lagi. So, timingan niyo rin sa block.
Easier said than done, though,
Yes.
because Toshova's playing so well. And Sickle, that is picked up by Cruz. Here comes Toshova again. Dug up by Van Sickle. They go to Salas. Oh, she couldn't get the timing from the back row. And Tolenada is blocked.
Nagulat ako, naging spiker si Tolenada, but you know, she can also attack. Makita mo naman kayo ng first set.
Oh, well, we know that
Yes.
she can get in the points.
But Brooke, the MVP, cannot cross, says Brooke.
Pwede maulit itong
Oo.
atake ni Ayo. She got 7 points in their first game
Yes.
against Akari.
That's a high point
For a
output
setter.
for a setter.
Oh, regalo. And Ethan Arce will take it.
Yeah. Take all the points you can get. And you know, Brooke is in the service line. So, you know na mga ka-ace din yun or mga kapuntos. Solid din yung service.
Mahanap na rin ng mga bunot.
Oo.
Ito si Coach Koji. Trying to find someone who can instigate this run. And the rejection, solid block.
Sabete, by Sabete.
Take a look at that last play.
At nakinig kay coach na sabi, same timing lang yan. Timingan niyo lang yung pagka-palo ni Toshova.
Timeout, Capital One.
Sino ba nandoon? Okay na, tayo naman eh. Tayo naman ang pumapalo. Wala namang bolang tatalon dito sa dulo. Kailangan natin ng receive, ha?
Capital! One!
Ang bilis makahabol. 1 point away na lang si Petro Gazz to tie the set. And kanina 14-18, di ba?
Yeah.
Kala mo, lamang na si Capital 1. And I think for Capital 1, they need to do variations then. Kasi ako, naisip ko kapag sinet kay Marina Tushova na. So it's easier for the blockers to read the attacks of Capital 1.
Okay, ito rin yung ginawa ng Petro Gazz ng first set, no? Climbing back into the game. Just down by a single point. That's a good serve. Duramal will have to bump it to Tushova.
Triple block.
Rafael,
Yeah.
broken play.
After that block point against Tushova, you know, the triple block na sila, but you can't stop her. That's her strong angle. That's her strong spike. The cross court. I think Petro Gazz needs to really time her block and really close that strong cross court of Marina.
And an attack error for Jonas Sabete brings the lead back up to 3 points for Capital 1.
Coach Kochi said, go lang.
In Filipino or Japanese?
In Japanese. Gambate! Like that. You know, I learned to speak Japanese because of Risa Sato.
Oh, you have to teach me
Yeah,
this.
kasi kapag kaya umaalis kami out of town or tour natin sa league, siya yung roommate ko. So I pretend to be in Japan when I'm with her. So dapat sa room, kailangan speak in Japanese.
Pwede ka maging interpreter eventually
Okay lang.
with the Japanese coaches. But
Pwede, sige.
Salas getting a point. And a service ace for Ethan Arce.
Yes, and she was happy for that service ace and the energy. Actually, kanina ko pa siya napapansin pag nakaka-point yung Petro Gazz. Sobrang happy niya. And that's the energy that Petro Gazz, I think, needs para lang mag-lighten up. Masyado silang, napansin mo, masyado seryoso. Oo, may pressure for them.
You can't spell Arce kasi without ace.
Ay, galing mo
kaso nabate.
Ay, nabati ko. Sayang. Sayang naman.
And back to a 2-point lead for Capital 1. Iris Tolenada will serve 21-19. Saet drops it to Salas. Down it goes.
Galing din ni Saet kasi napapahabol niya yung middle blocker ng Capital 1. And that's single block si outside spiker na si Salas. And sure point, kung single block. Kasi malakas talaga ang matake ang Petro Gazz.
20 serving 21. Tolenada goes to Tushova. Saet tosses it. Salas doesn't get it. Doromal will bump to Cruz. The rookies in action. Joust. Buhay pa rin. Tushova goes up. The drop and nobody home.
That was a smart move. Parang ngayon ko lang siya nakita na drop ball. Kaya na kasi panay atake ng atake for Marina Tushova kasi she can go through the block. Pero now, nakita niya na bantayin na ako sa down. And just a simple block. No one was there. Nagulo yung defense ng Petro Gazz Angels.
That's what happens kapag pumupuntos ka in those strong attacks.
Yes.
Pwede mo na i-vary.
Oo. And it shows meron siyang variations.
Saet goes middle. Doromal gets a hand on it.
Free ball.
Chi delivers it to Salas. The dive by Iris. Sing again. Van Sickle with the easy pickup. Oh, miscue there. Pagkakataon para sa Capital 1. Back with the black shirts. Galdones. It's still alive.
Wow, another long rally.
Capital 1 playing good defense. Doromal with a save. Back row from Tushova. Yes!
Palakpak, palakpak. Ang ganda. Gandang rally for both teams, but, you know, finally, Capital 1 decided to go to the reinforcement. And akala ko actually sa strong spike, makita mo yung defense ng Petro Gazz. Umatras na eh. And then biglang just a soft spike in the middle. Smart, smart play for this Russian player.
Yeah.
Marina Tushova.
And she's got a total of 17 points already.
Halos isang set na. Go, Marina! It's summertime.
23 serving 20. Cheng back sets to Van Sickle. What a save by Tishova. And Singh converts it into a point. Capital One is at set point.
Wow, set point. And you know, Singh has been using the blocks actually kanina pa. Dina-down the line niya, na-check lang siya. But now, she was able to take advantage of Cheng's hands and check ball lang.
Oh, nireward niya si Tishova with that defense and Singh.
Yeah, that was a good defense actually by Tishova.
Oh! And a service ace for Maria Tishova to end set number 2.
Wow, this girl came here to play and really reinforced the Capital One with that energy of, you know, just scoring for her team, doing everything for her team.
And the Solar Spikers are up 2-0 over the Petro Gazz Angels. We'll be back with set number 3 after this break. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for the continuation of the 2024 PVL Reinforced Conference. The Capital One Solar Spikers are up 2-0 over the Petro Gazz Angels. As we take a look at the highlights, Phil, can you tell the viewers what has happened this entire game? Bakit angat tong Capital One 2-0?
The Capital One stayed energized in this game, and you can see how much they enjoys playing lang. You know, everything works for them. Their defense is still there. Hindi nawawala. Front defense blocking. Clemente scored already 5 blocks in this game, and even Doromal was the libero in this set, and she was just digging left and right. The spikes of Brooke Van Sickle, makita mo naman dito. I love seeing stats like this, and lamang pa rin sa attack si Capital One. Although parehas na block points yung both teams, o lamang din sa service aces ang Petro Gazz, but it was the errors nga, sabi ko sa'yo. Mga tiny errors, mga net touch, mga service out, yung nagka-problema si Petro Gazz with 7 errors. So I think Petro Gazz needs to play cleaner, you know, less errors, just maintain their composure, and wala naman talagang pressure for them because they're the top teams right now in spiking, in serving. And you know, I think Capital One is challenging Petro Gazz. Alam ni Capital One na malakas tong kalaban natin, and they're just being solid as a team. Na teamwork din talaga. Na everyone's contributing in their team, mapa-defense and mapa-offense, and just helping Marina Tishova overall.
And they are definitely unfazed here in this match against the Angels. Wilma Salas and the rest of Petro Gazz hoping to extend this one and win set number 3. But Leila Cruz and company are looking good.
Yes. And I feel like Petro Gazz needs to take that teamwork as Coach Koji wants them to, you know, work together.
So we'll see what adjustments Petro Gazz will make here in the third set. You mentioned Roma Doromal entering in set number 2. She was a great help in that
and
set.
I can see she's determined mapa-free ball. You can see her focus, getting that free ball and giving it to Iris.
So set number 3 underway here on One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Bianco with Phil Cayetano and Franny Reyes, your broadcast team, for the final match of this Tuesday's triple header.
What's happening?
There's a whistle.
Second referee. I think the rotation. They're trying to fix the rotation. Na-excite pa naman ako.
Oo, try.
Diba? Parang exciting. Kahit third, sabihin ko, kahit third game na to, diba? Gabi na. Ang exciting ng game kasi ang haba ng mga rallies.
Yeah, haba.
Tsaka unexpected. Sorry, Capital One. Pero alam mo naman sobrang dominant na to Petro Gazz. But Capital One is challenging Petro Gazz. So let's see how they answer to that. How they adjust, diba? In game. Ito na makikita mo yung experience and maturity ng isang team. How they adjust in game.
I mean, earlier we saw a reverse sweep by the Akari Chargers.
Yes.
So we're underway officially. Van Sickle will start off from the back.
You know, also Brooke Van Sickle has 14 points na for Petro Gazz Angels. And for Toshova, she has 18 points. It's just two players. Yun yung question natin, di ba? Who's the star? Who's gonna be the star? Brooke or Marina?
Oh, and so far on battling in the points, Toshova with 18, Van Sickle with 14. That's a point given up to Capital One. Salas. That is saved. Oh, but Tolinada. Oh, could have been dangerous there, but everyone's okay after that play as we send this to Franny Reyes for this report. Franny?
Thanks, Dip and Phil. Coach Koji actually commended one of the players from the Capital 1 Solar Spikers, and that player is Roma May Doromal. She's been steady on defense, the stabilizer for the Solar Spikers, and she actually let me know that she isn't quite confident or quite happy with how she's playing just yet. She's been steady, but she believes she still has a lot to improve on because she's still learning Coach Rogers' system. Her problem in the last game was actually the defense pattern, so she's still adjusting to that. But again, Coach Koji commended her ability to read the other team on the court, and that's clearly been helping the Solar Spikers today. Now, Phil, earlier I heard you were looking for something from Coach Roger, and he actually had a quote for the team. When you play hard like this is your last game. It's clear that he sees the finish line in 3 sets, so let's see if the Solar Spikers will answer his call. This report was brought to you by the Filipinas Live app. Get the most extensive PVL coverage for only 149 pesos a month. Back to the game.
Thank you, Franny, for that report. Well,
yes. Thank you for the quotable quotes. Naiyak ako. Reminiscing.
Ano ba yung pinaka-naalala mong quotable quote ni Coach Roger?
I actually have a video of it. Sabi, first year ako noon, first year college. Sabi ni Coach, tiwala ka, paluin mo yan. Ganyan.
Specifically to you.
To me. May video ako pinost ko sa Instagram. Sino sa social media.
At kahapon, pinaiyak ka rin.
Actually, nakitraining ako sa Capital 1. Tapos nag-huddle sila. Yung huddle na mag-ano na. Tapos before mag-scream ng kanilang team, sabi ni Coach Roger, love you all. I was like, oh my God, naiyak na ako.
Ikaw yung naiyak.
Oo, ako lang naiyak. So medyo nakakahiyak. Pero I love Coach Roger. And I want to talk about nga si Doromal, yung kaninang second set. You know how, you see how determined and, you know, focused talaga siya sa role niya as the new libero of Capital 1.
What a play there for Julia Ipak with a hang time. You never know, Phil, baka maiyak tong mga to if ever they win. Oh, solid block. Another one for Leila Cruz.
Rookie Leila Cruz versus the Angel MVP na si Brooke. And syempre, that's her second block against Brooke, ha? In this game.
Capital One up by a point, 4-3. Van Sickle. Sing with a save, and Duramal chases. Oh, what hustle shown by the Solar Spikers. Salas, another dive by Singh. Oh, but Galdones spoils that one.
And if you notice, Dip, kapag nagkaka-joust sa net, mas confident si Petro Gazz makipag-joust in front of the net. That was a good save by Singh here, pero it was Petro Gazz point.
Oh, you have to credit Jorel Singh for her effort, though.
I know. Very agile and quick.
But a service error for Galdones gives the lead back to Capital One.
Yes. You know, this tiny errors, service errors, again, it adds up like last set, 7 opponent errors in Petro Gazz. And that made a difference in the set. Ooh, okay, sagutan sila.
Oh, tit for tat. Their service error this time coming from Capital One.
Coach Roger.
5-all here in set number 3. Tolinada bumps it to Singh. And gets a point. Somebody touched the net as well.
Yes, so sure point for Capital One. And it was a good clean spike for Jarrell Singh. No defense for Petro Gazz.
Six serving 5. Ipak with a serve. Saet back sets to Sabete. Jonah is blocked. They transfer it to Van Sickle.
Oh.
And she won't be denied.
Yes, and again, single block for Capital One. And you do not leave Brooke Van Sickle with a single block because she will dominate and, you know, she will spike it all. Her power. You see, no block.
Bukas na bukas.
Yeah, you don't leave her with no block or single block.
So misreceived, yeah, by Doromal. Chance here for Petro Gazz. Sabete. Oh, that's short.
I see what she was going for, that angle, that super cross angle, pero mahirap din talaga gawin yun, yung super cross angle. You have to have the right height and angle.
Leila Cruz will serve. 7-6. That's another attack error for Petro Gazz, back to back. And that leads us to the first technical timeout. Capital One up by 2. Sama-sama tayo sa laban ngayong Olympic Games Paris 2024 with Signal. Panoorin ang mga laban sa 3 exclusive channels at iba pa in high definition anytime, anywhere. Mag-subscribe lang sa Sports Action Pack for only 300 pesos. 2-point lead for Capital One. That drops for Sabete.
That works for Sabete. I mean, tumama sa net kaya na-mistime yung defense ni Capital One. And right now, Petro Gazz needs to really score point by point by point because they need the set to be able to extend pa the game.
No choice but to get this one. Tolenada back sets to Clemente. Van Sickle for the pickup. Salas. Oh.
Yes.
That's a couple of errors now for Wilma
Salas.
Salas.
Salas has been struggling adjusting to the fast sets because she's a tall player and, you know, I think she wants higher sets as a tall player just to time it better.
And Phil, she did not start this match for Petro Gazz. So
it was actually Sabete who started.
Maybe also a case of being under the weather for Wilma Salas. But fighting it out. Marina Tushova is not yet done scoring. She's got 19 points already for Capital One.
And that's one of her favorite angles, yung super cross court. And the defense of Petro Gazz wasn't able to adjust to that.
Timeout called by the Angels.
DJ Nam! Okay! One chance!
Let's celebrate every point. Okay? Let's try to celebrate. Para ma-lighten up yung mood mo lahat. Okay? Para gumaan yung loob. Okay?
I go! Let's go!
Hey, Petro Gazz!
Nakita mo, Dip, actually nung timeout, I noticed nga wala si Palma in this game. And, you know, Franny reported nga.
We want to greet a happy birthday to Reese Malonzo, who's just right behind Jorel Singh there.
You know, Reese Malonzo used to be my student as a volleyball camp.
Ah, interesting. And working hard on her birthday as Capital One will up the lead to 4 points.
Yes. Anyway, I was talking about during the timeout. Si Palma, we saw during the timeout and telling her teammates na to celebrate each point. Kasi I feel nga na yung Petro Gazz hindi nag-enjoy this game. Masyado silang seryoso and they need to like, relax.
Tense, no?
Oo.
Laban sa net. It's back with Petro Gazz. Salas. Doromal shouting, asking for it, bumping it to Tushova, and she delivers.
Yeah, she just scoring at will and she adjusted. Bitin actually yung set, but it was a loose ball, but last minute went down the line and no one was there. It was a clean spike.
I'm not sure if it was heard also on television, but Roma made Doromal just screaming, saying, "Ako na."
Yes.
Spell the difference there because binigay sa kanya ng
I
teammates and she was
know.
able to set up Marina Tushova.
And it shows then her leadership.
Yeah.
Diba? As
Yeah.
kahit rookie, sisigawan mo ako na and claiming it. I love it.
Yeah, and I mean that's experience gained from her being the captain
Yes.
of Ateneo
I'm so proud.
last season.
Proud ate. Yeah.
Pero hindi pa tapos dito ang Petro Gazz. Down by 4 points. Tolenada goes middle. The coverage by Doromal. And Singh taking the block. Battle of the net. Still alive. Tushova goes for another super spike.
Same super cross court for her. I think it went over na. She saw it's blocked and ibabaw na ibabaw.
And this spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan.
What can you do with that spike from Marina Tushova? Kundi, spike of the set.
Hirap.
Yeah, oo.
5-point lead. Clemente, nahawa na rin sa
Reaction time,
reflexes.
oo. Nakita mo yun? Bilis na reaction time.
Maizo Pontillas, way above. Tolenada goes to Ipak. Trickles down. Salas. It's out.
Yes. Aggressive move for Salas, but it was too out na. Parang
Yeah.
nandito na siya sa gitna eh. So, good intention, pero too far na.
Shola Alvarez having fun in the bench. Ay, why not? They're up by 6 points.
And this happiness is what keeps the Capital One, the energy, the lightness, and just playing their game. Nakikitraining ulit sa kanila.
Parang yun ata yung na-inspire sila sa'yo eh. Nagpakita ka kahapon sa training nila. Oh!
Sorry guys, that was a crucial error. Parang hindi na yun ka-expected kay
Yeah.
Marina Tushova. And nagulat din siya sa sarili niya. Smile na lang si Coach Roger. Yeah. Ooh, yummy!
Nicole Tiamzon sees entry here, some minutes for Coach Koji in the third set. Ipak able to avoid the net. Here comes Van Sickle. That's a point.
That was a good spike from Brooke Van Sickle. There was speed and power. Binilisan niya talaga. Hindi na nakahabol yung blockers na Capital One. See, it was Iris actually trying to become the middle blocker in that play.
Tolenada bumps it to Shova. Down it goes.
Same angle. And I feel like si Marina Tushova kasi alam niyang kaya niya yung dalawang blockers ng Petro Gazz. So, iniibabawan niya lang talaga yung dalawang blockers. And you can see, taas ng talo niya doon. And that super cross angle. Favorite. So, pansin mo, malakas mag-cross court
Yeah.
talaga. Yun yung strong spike ni Marina Tushova.
Van Sickle. Oh, Doromal.
Inside out.
This time it's out.
Couldn't control that spike over MVP, Brooke Van Sickle.
Four-point game here in set number 3.
Parang ganyan din ng first and second set eh. Parang lumalamang ng 4 points si Capital One.
Tapos
Tapos
nahabol. But look at that hit.
Taking advantage of the small blocker na si Chisael.
23 points for Marina Tushova. And more importantly, Capital One leads us to the second technical timeout. They're up by 5. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, the Capital1 Solar Spikers up by 5 points over the Petro Gazz Angels as we get the support from Franny Reyes. Franny?
Thanks, Dip. Now, this is not the Petro Gazz Angels that we're used to. They're usually a very dominant team, and it reminds me of something that Michelle Morente mentioned to me earlier, where they have to work hard, but they also have to be mentally tough. Right now, they are the veteran team, and they are more than capable of catching up in this game, not just in this set, but they have to be mentally tough despite the errors that they're facing if they want to catch up to Capital One and to extend this match. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Franny, but everything not
Working.
not working for Petro Gazz, and everything going right
Yes,
for Capital One because nakuha na yun ni Duramal, but also a violation on the part of Petro Gazz Angels. Foot fault yung tinawag doon, but Petro Gazz wants to challenge. And
kung may foot fault,
tignan kung lumagpas pa talaga.
sa back row, Steve Brook. Yes.
Let's
And I
see.
do agree with Franny's report na it's surprising. Kasi alam natin na dominant team si Petro Gazz, and it's Capital1 actually now dominating this game.
Now, what is it that you saw this entire game na talagang that spelled the difference?
I feel like Capital1, parang disiplinado sila sa kanilang place, sa depensa, sa opensa. It's the discipline that they have, and just playing happy and relaxed.
It was
Foot fault?
actually sa
yes,
harap diba?
that's yes.
Van Sickle.
Yes. Sa harap si Van Sickle. That's a full foot fall.
Tumawid
Good
talaga.
challenge. Ay, hindi pala.
Yeah,
Hindi sila pala
unsuccessful sila ng challenges. So,
Good challenge for Capital1. So nakita natin.
so unsuccessful challenge for the Petro Gazz Angels. Point stays.
And good call for the referee.
Yeah. Oh, short though for the Shova.
That's her second service error in this set. And lamang na lamang din naman si Capital1.
Serving 17. That looked close.
Yes. Actually, kung ako yun, kukunin ko yun. Oo,
Para manigurado, no? But
if you're not sure.
Petro Gazz will not challenge because they only have one left.
One challenge na lang sila. Okay. Yes, tama. Kasi unsuccessful yung kanina. Unsuccessful challenge yung kanina. So, one na
they
lang.
wanna save it in
For
case
crucial mga
kailanganin mamaya. Van Sickle,
Wow.
All business for Brooke Van Sickle, who will try and lead her team to a comeback.
I felt that power from her spike. Yung gigil na kailangan na natin pumutos, guys. Kailangan natin makuha yung set na ito.
Naging Brooke Van Gigil, no?
Ay, ang galing nun. Brooke Van Gigel.
Oh, but it's out.
That's their second service error na sunod-sunod. Alam mo yung last service line error, and this is the second one. And they cannot afford that.
Well, they have to be flawless here. That's 6-point advantage once again for Capital1, 19-13. Sayat goes to Tiamzon. Naibalik. Barbon. Inangat. Maizo Pontillas waits. And scores.
You know, Ate Aiza has been quiet in the first and second set, and now you need her clutch playing and her points in this set.
Serving 19. Singh will get a point.
Nice. You know, I love the confidence of Singh in this match kasi nga she's just been scoring. And, you know, even though na-block touch, pero nag-check ball, and nakaka-point siya eh. Team captain, Jarrell Singh.
Yeah. Back set to Maizo Pontillas, Tolinada. Almost, but not quite.
And Side has been going to Aiza Maizo right now. She's been scoring well for her team. 5 points na lang for Capital 1 to win this match. But 5 points. Petro Gazz needs 5 points to
Yeah.
tie.
Tolenada. Oh, the 1-2. Classic Iris Tolenada.
You know, alam mo, nung nakalaban ko siya doon kahapon sa training, inaabangan ko yung drop niyong biglang ganyan. Kasi she's known for that, you know, last minute drop ball.
There has to be at least one
Yes.
of that from Iris Tolenada. And brings it for Capital 1 at the most important time. Timeout, Petro Gazz.
Okay. More. Trend. Come on, let's go.
Timeout called by the Petro Gazz Angels. The Capital 1 Solar Spikers
Dominating this game. Surprisingly,
Yeah,
surprising everyone, which makes the Capital 1 Spikers happy.
Yeah. And they're cruising here on their way. The Galdones.
Not yet, says not
Oh,
yet.
they delay pa dito in set number 3. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
To Shova. Tolenada to Ibang.
Ibang's effective. Actually, I thought that she was gonna give it again to Tushova, Maria Tushova. Kasi nasa halos endgame na tayo eh. Gusto mo na ng sure point eh,
Yeah.
diba? Kung ka na sa reinforcement mo. But, you know, Ibang was asking for it and delivered the point.
Vansicle.
Ooh.
Saved by Tolenada. Singh sets up to Shova. It's
Outside.
over and out.
Yeah, I think Marina came from a triple block and you could see her running back to her position and
Yeah.
she said, wait lang. And hindi naman Tagalog. Sabi niya, wait lang. That's why it was hard for her to adjust.
In Russia.
Hindi marunong mag-Russian. Kausapin ko pa siya para matuto ko mag-Russian.
5-point game. Do the Angels have enough left in their tank? And those are the errors that they need to avoid.
I know that. I think that's their third service error for this set. And, you know, just crucial. And I was telling you na yung disiplina
Yeah.
sa mga simple errors like service and even net touch or foot fault.
2 points away are the Capital 1 Solar Spikers from getting their first win here in the reinforced conference. Tolenada goes to Singh. Popped up by Tiamzon. Barbon, Vansicle. It's a free ball. Iris goes back to Singh.
Outside. That was a good defense for Petro Gazz Angels. Kahit loose ball, ginawa ng paraan. Although free ball actually, sayang yung opportunity for Capital 1 because it was a free ball for them. But now Petro Gazz has a full front line. You have Brooke also in front.
Cheng with a serve. Tolenada goes to Ipak. It drops. And the Capital 1 Solar Spikers are at match point.
That was a good play actually, giving it to Ipak. Just a simple block. Drop point. And
Bill.
Cheng wasn't able to get it.
This is a team that only had one win last conference.
Yes.
And they are only in their second match of this reinforced conference on their way to a victory. Vansicle, Ipak with a save. To Shova, the set to Singh for the win. And it's out.
Yeah.
Capital 1 Solar Spikers get a capital W now on the winning column here in the PVL Reinforced Conference.
It's their team captain, Jarrell Singh, finishing this match in 3 straight sets, diba? It was surprising, and you see how happy the team owners of Capital 1 right now. It's such a young team, winning against a veteran seasoned team.
Let's take a look at that last play, the save by Ipak. To Tushova with a set. And a spike from Jarrell Singh. This panalo play of the game is brought to you by Yakult. And the victory, the W for Capital One. As we take this short break, we'll be back to wrap this one up after this.
And co-best player of the game, Marina Tushova.
Back here on One Sports and on Pilipinas Live, and match between the Capital One Solar Spikers and the Petro Gazz Angels just finished. And Franny Reyes is with the best player of the game, Iris Tolenada, and with their reinforcement, Marina Tushova. Go ahead, Franny.
Thanks, Dip. With 15 excellent sets, she's back. It's Iris Tolenada, your player of the game. Iris, I have to ask, it's a 3-set win against the Petro Gazz Angels. You were the playmaker earlier. You told me about the pressure that comes with being the setter of this team. How does it feel? Have you processed what just happened?
It honestly feels amazing, and the reason this all happened is because I have people around me that get in the gym and want to work as hard as I do, and they allow me to push them. So it just makes the whole gym better. We have management, we have the owners, we have the team, coaches, PTs, everyone who supports us. So it's really, we talk about being a team and being a family all the time, and that's why we're able to be successful today.
Now let's move on over to Marina, 23 points. It's summertime. You told me you weren't happy with your performance during the first game. How do you feel about your performance now?
So now it's going better, but you know why? Because of my team. They helped me a lot today. They did a great job, and without them, I'm no one.
Now it's very clear from the both of you, teamwork is very important to the Solar Spikers. Your next game is against the Signal HD Spikers. How will you prepare? How does teamwork factor in?
We just have to get in the gym and honestly just do a good scouting report. Our coaches have prepared us pretty well for that, and us as teammates, we also help each other. So we just have to make sure we're always on top of the assignment that we're supposed to do.
All right, Iris, Marina, now's your chance to say thank you to the fans and to all the PVL fans watching. Let's start with you, Marina.
Mahal ko kayo.
And you, Iris?
First, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be here without him. I want to thank my family, the Tolenada family, all my family in Bel Air. Tarlac, hello, everybody. Management, owners, everyone who supports Capital One Volleyball, and everyone who supported me on my journey since day one. Thank you, guys. I love you so much.
Iris, Marina, again, congratulations. Dip, I know you're not used to this, but let's close this 3-setter out.
Medyo bitin pa nga, Franny, but there you have it. Our best player of the game. She is back, Iris Tolenada, and back with a reinforcement in Marina Tushova, who surpassed her total in the previous game. She had 20 points against Akari. In this win, Phil, she had a total of
24
But,
points.
yeah.
And I do agree with Iris Toledano as the player of the game because she led that team, you know. Even though she just scored 1 point, but, you know, her leadership, her ball distribution was there. And for Marina Toshova, she said na everyone helped her in this match. And I'm proud for Capital One and happy for them for, you know, challenging, not folding against a veteran team like Petro Gazz Angel. And they were just there and present, you know, gaining that energy from Marina that they can score, and coming from that high energy from Marina, they, you know, nag-teamwork talaga. And that's what Iris said na, you know, everyone goes to the gym and, you know, do the work. And in the game, it shows if you want to do the work, it shows that everyone is inside like they want to win this game.
And it paid off, winning over the mighty Petro Gazz Angels in straight sets. That's not an easy feat, Phil.
No, actually, it was a surprise for us. Everyone thought that Petro Gazz would dominate this game, but it was Capital One who dominated with 44 attacks versus the 36 of Petro Gazz. And the blocks, even the blocks, they did more blocks than Petro Gazz. And of course, makita mo naman talaga yung opponent errors of Petro Gazz that made a difference for them to lose this game. And for Capital One, congratulations, diba? This is a big win for them as a young team. Last season, they only won 1 game, and I hope they continue this momentum and this teamwork for the rest of the season.
Right, and of course, the games will continue this Thursday, still here in the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. It's PLDT versus Farm Fresh at 1 o'clock. Next Led versus Creamline at 3 p.m. And the last game will be Cherry Tigo going up against Galleries Tower. And that does it for our coverage tonight. 3-setter win for the Capital One Solar Spikers against the Petro Gazz Angels to close this Tuesday triple header out. And we say goodbye and thank you to all our viewers on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. On behalf of our director Al Nerim, our courtside reporter Franny Reyes, and my partner Phil Kainglet Cayetano, my name is Dip Dipiaco, saying thank you for watching the 2024 PVL Reinforced Conference. This is the heart of volleyball.